Hi and welcome back. My name's Lyndon Blades and I'm your private one-to-one juggling instructor. Welcome back to freejugglingLessons.com. Wow, you've done fantastically well. If you've completed the last lessons, you should be able to do quite a few throws now in the cascade pattern. And so congratulations if you've come this far. I'm really happy for you, and I want you to go off and teach all your friends how to juggle and spread some happiness around the world. In this lesson we're going to be looking at how to make your pattern really strong so that you control the juggling balls and the juggling balls don't control you. And there's a few ways that we can do that. But first of all, I want to help you to overcome some of the common problems that people have when they first started to juggle a cascade pattern. Now, by far the most common pattern that I've ever come across when people start to juggle is that they're throwing forward. So instead of being able to stand still and do a juggling pattern, they do a juggling pattern and they start running off down the road or running across their garden, juggling balls, running forward. So does this sound like you? Probably it does, because nearly everybody who starts to learn how to juggle throws forward. Now there's a couple of ways that we can fix this problem. Now, one of the best ways, I think, is to just really take care of your body position before you start to juggle. Because often when people are throwing forward in their juggling pattern, they're so enthusiastic about juggling they forget about their body position, and then their palms are facing outwards before they start, and if their palms are facing outward, where are the balls going to go? They're going to be going forward, and then they're going to have to move forward to actually catch the ball, and so they start running down the road. And it looks really funny and it's great fun, but if you want to avoid doing that, here's what to do. Stand in a really good position, feet shoulder width apart. Make sure that your palms are facing the ceiling and you're putting the force of the throw upwards and not outwards like this. Upwards. I'm pushing the balls upwards every time. Also, if I juggle with my hands about hip height, then if I do throw a ball slightly out, I can reach out and grab that ball and put it back into a correct position. If I start my juggling pattern out here with my arms thrust forward and I throw a ball out, then I've immediately started to lose, after I've gone off that ball, I've started to lose my balance, and then I have to move forward. So just make sure that your hands are pointing the ceiling and you're putting the force of your throw upwards. Another way that you can cure the problem of throwing the balls forwards is by juggling in front of a wall. So I'm going to turn around with my back to you and show you what I mean, like this. And what that does is, because I've got a wall right in front of me, I kind of have to keep my hands close to my body. I can't start juggling out here because the wall's in front of me, and also I've got a real sense of perspective that I've only got a limited space to juggle in, and that gives you a heightened awareness about where the balls need to be. If you practice juggling in front of a wall for a while, when you come away from the wall, you still juggle as if the wall's in front of you, and then you don't throw forward so much. So that's a really great way. So where are you with your juggling? I hope that what you're doing is building up the number of throws that you're able to do in your juggling pattern. So what I mean by that is, how many throws can you make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, pretty much 8 or 9 throws. If you're at that stage, that's really fantastic, and congratulations. You need to be adding to those throws all the time. Remember in the last lesson, I said to you, if you're able to do 8 throws and you want to go for 9, don't aim for 9, aim for 15. Give yourself a nice big distance between where you're at and where you want to be, so there's plenty of margin, because sometimes as you approach your goal, you start to notice a bit of tension, and that tension throws you off. So make sure there's plenty of distance. You're giving yourself a really good goal to go for. Once we've got hold of this juggling pattern, how can we make it really strong? In this lesson, I'm going to give you some exercises to carry out which are going to make your cascade pattern cast iron strong. So what we do is get your pattern going, and the easiest way to to make your pattern really, really strong is to start to vary the size of your pattern. So what I've said to you up until now is keep all the balls the same height. What we need to do this time is to keep the balls the same height, and then I'm going to shrink the pattern down so that I'm going to do the smallest pattern that I can. So it'll look like this. Here's throwing the balls at the normal height, and now I'm going to shrink the pattern down so that I'm doing the smallest pattern that I possibly can. Now you'll notice if you're doing a small pattern that your hands have to go quite a bit faster because there's less distance between your hand and the ball. So you don't have to do a smaller pattern as I'm doing, just the smallest pattern that you can do is absolutely fine. If you can get any variation on the size of the pattern at all, then that's going to really help. So here's approximately the normal size pattern, and if you just bring it down a bit, that's absolutely fine. If you can bring it down a bit more, that's really good. And if you can do it really, really small down here, then that's really going to help firm the pattern up. Then we're going to go the other way. We're going to go from a regular size pattern and see if you can do a slightly larger pattern. So here's the regular size pattern. Now let's make the throw slightly bigger so that now the balls are going a bit higher. And now I'm going to go even higher still. Wow! And what's happening is that I'm really strengthening my pattern. So I'm controlling the balls are not controlling me. So we can go from a big pattern to a regular size pattern to a smaller pattern to an even smaller pattern, which by the way is quite hard. So that's one way, vary the size of your cascades in different sizes. Another way that we can really get our juggling going, get our juggling cascade pattern really, really strong is by moving around when we're juggling. So what do I mean by this? Well, get the juggling pattern going and then walk up and down a little bit. So it's going to look like this. I get my pattern going, I walk forward a little bit with it, and then I walk back. Now I haven't got loads and loads of room in here, but what I suggest is that you walk a good 5 or 6 or 10 steps forward and 10 steps back. But any movement that you can get at all with your juggling pattern is going to really, really help. And if you're throwing forward still, then moving backwards while you're juggling is a really good way of curing that problem. Another thing that you can do to move is to get down on one knee while you're juggling and get down on the other knee and then stand up again, and I'll show you what that looks like now. So you get your cascade pattern going, drop down onto one knee, drop down onto the other knee, and then start to get back up again, all the time keeping the juggling pattern going. Another thing that you can do is to turn a circle. So get your juggling pattern going and then turn around on the spot in a circle, making a complete 360 pattern. If you can do these things, if you can move backwards and forwards, get up and get down, sit in a chair, walk around, turn a circle while you're juggling, then that is going to really make your cascade pattern absolutely fantastic and as strong as anything. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. My name's Lyndon Blades. I'm your private one-to-one juggling instructor, and I'll see you in the next lesson where we're going to learn some fantastic variations on the 3-ball pattern. See you in the next lesson. Take care. Bye.